Hello everyone, this is Awabakir and today we're going to discuss March 2019's paper 31. So let's begin. The first task is, as always, asking us to maintain the evidence document. So we'll go to our source file folder. We'll sort this by type as I've already done, and I'll open the evidence document. Alright. Make sure your name, center number and candidate number must appear on the document in the header. Okay. And as always, please read one part ahead at least, and you have to save this as a new file, okay, with appending your your student number. Okay, so I'll just simply double click here and I'll put that they've not asked us to align any of them. Okay, so no need of that. So I'll just try it. So last time we used Batman, so this time we can maybe use Wolverine. He's my favorite superhero. Okay, so we'll do maybe WL123 and the user ID can be 0001. Alright. So save this as, okay, let's save this as a new document and we'll name this 0001. We'll append this. Perfect. Now the task 2. Okay, in task 2, so we are asked to evaluate a web page that's designed for children from age 2 to 3 to identify colors. So basically what's happening is whenever they click on a word, it would show you the color here. Okay. Now in this part they've asked us to evaluate the web page for the intended audience. No more than 100 words. You have to discuss if this is a good design or a bad design. Okay, so first of all let's zoom into it. I think this originally had colors, but it's showing black and white on my side. So yeah, this had colors. Okay, so first of all, the font is too small for children. Okay, so the intended audience is clearly 2 to 3 years old. Secondly, it is not not understandable or not quickly intuitive, because they're asking if you click on the color text and then it would appear on the circle. I guess if they would have swapped them, so that would have been much better for children. Thirdly, the text size is too small. I'm pretty sure children won't be able to read this word turquoise, amber, and especially this small instruction. Again, this is too ambiguous for them to understand. Okay, so we can put all of these in the evidence document. You can do that on your own. I'm not going to write it. So task 2, state the most appropriate web development layer to do all of these. Okay, so first before we discuss the answer, let's open our syllabus of ICT and let's see what the syllabus says about the web layers. Okay, so we have to understand these 3 layers. So first of all, we have the content layer, which discusses the content of the web page. Second one, we have the presentation layer that formats the whole web page or the individual elements. It could be the table, it could be your hyperlinks, anything like that. And the third one and the last one is behavior layer to enter the scripting language to a web page. So this would usually be JavaScript or whatever language you can comfortable in. Okay, so now we are given these set of questions. So set the background color of all the pages in a website. So what do you think would it be? So clearly this is going to be presentation, okay, because it is about formatting the website. Second one is creating a hyperlink to another web page. So this is not presentation, it's not scripting, it is clearly going to be content layer, because hyperlink is going to be a content on the website. Collapse all the table borders again. So this is more of a presentation thing, because if you want to collapse means you want the whole table to just minimize at one click. So this is again part of presentation there. And enlarging an image when the user hovers the cursor over it. Okay, so by default you do not get this functionality over an image, so you'll have to write a scripting language. Any scripting language you'll have to use. So that is going to be the behavior layer. Okay, so let's write this quickly in evidence. So this would be presentation. Okay, so yes, so the next one would be what was the hyperlink? Yeah, it was going to be content. Then we have presentation again, and finally we have the behavior layer. Okay, behavioral. Okay, well done. So we have done this as well. Now we're off to task 3. Okay, so question 3, sorry, not task 3. So you work for the Hot House Design, wow, nice name, and will develop web pages for a small British company called Glorious Garden. Okay, that's a lot of G's. Efficient markable style sheets must be used. All color codes must be in hexadecimal. Alright, so first of all, create a folder called GG-HTML. So let's go to our source file folder and we'll create Ctrl+Shift-N GG-HTML. And in this folder we have to put all these files from our root directory. So alright, so we have all the images. Okay, so we have a couple of images, so let's sort them. So we already sorted them by the type. So we have apple, camellia, cherry, forsythia, and lilac. So yes, we paste them here. Then we have a CSS file GG style and a text file GG text. So we copy the GG style and the GG text and we paste them here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and okay, so these, no, I think miscounted, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we have 8 files. Okay, we have done this. Good enough. Open and resize the image lilac so that it is 672 pixels wide and 896 in height. And see, now if you wouldn't have read this part, you would have clearly saved the image. You have overwritten the image. Okay, so we are not supposed to overwrite it. We have to save it in a new copy. So let's open the lilac photo in Paint, okay, or any other image editing software that you might have. So let's zoom out a bit. So you have to make it 672 by 896. So I'll go to resize 670. Okay, so we have to uncheck this because otherwise the height and width are linked. So I'll say 672 with 896. Okay, this looks good. I'll go to file, save as, and I'll save it as lilac1. Done. So we have done till here. Remove the left and the right of the image to make it 271 pixels wide and 896 high. Okay, so we are going to edit lilac1 now. Or is it going to be lilac2? Oh no, it's going to be lilac1. Okay, so we're going to edit it. So you have to make it so you are going to cut this part and this part, and you know this is pretty basic mathematics. So you know this is 271 pixels width, and you have x plus x. Okay, so this, if I write this, let's write in the document evidence. So you have 271 plus 2x is equal to, what is the total width of our image? We have 672. So once you find the value of x, it would give you this part. Okay, so this part plus the 271 would, you know, give you the accurate pixels. So let's calculate this value. This would be 672 minus 271 divided by 2. So this is around 200 or 201 pixels. Okay, so we'll head over to our image, and we know that, so the coordinates will be showing here. So this is around 200, and yes, so this is 201. So you are going to go, oops, and how much do we need? Yeah, so it has to be 271. So 271 plus 200, so this is 471. Okay, so we are going to start from 201 and we're going to go to 471. So 201 is here, and we're going to go till 471. 470. Sorry, I made a mistake. Okay, so this is supposed to be around here. Yes, this, I think this is right. So it is going to be 271. Okay, let's do it again. 201. Yes, so 203. So I'm going to 203. I'm not going to be precise, and we're going to 273. So I'm going to crop that. 271. Okay, so there are a couple of pixels, some discrepancy. You can correct them on your own. Okay, so we have 273 into 295. It should have been 271, 298, 896. You can correct them. So we are going to save this as lilac 2. Okay, done. Now display the contents of your GGG folder, showing the full folder name, all the file name, extensions, sizes, and image dimensions, and place a screenshot. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, so it's already there. Now if you want to show the format and the dimensions of the image, you are just going to change the format to the layout to this one. Okay, so it shows the details, or you can just simply click on details. You right click here, you go to more, you can press D, and you can find dimension here somewhere. Here you go dimension, and if you press T, you can find type. So these two would show you the dimensions and the type. Okay, and this is the name of the folder here. So I'll just take a screenshot. Yes, so here's the screenshot. I press Ctrl C and I put it in the evidence document. This is going to be our evidence 3, if I'm not wrong. This is evidence 3, yes. So file sizes, dimensions, all of that is showing in the document. Okay, and we also have the folder name. Alright, so question 6. So we have to create a web page called spring.html, and it must have a table which looks like this. Let's zoom out a bit, and as always, following the practice, we're reading ahead. So each table is cell is identified with the letter. Each cell is identified with the letter, and all the dimensions are in pixels. Okay, so this is very important. They're not in centimeters or meters. This is pixels, and the letters are only for representation purpose. They are not supposed to be on the web page. All borders must be visible. That means in HTML they must be solid. Okay, and it must have a border of 2. Perfect. So let's begin. We have to first create a web page called spring.html. So let's close Paint. Let's open Dreamweaver. Okay, so we'll be using Dreamweaver to make and edit any HTML web pages. So we have to create a new web page, new HTML. Okay, so this is by default some HTML in there. You press Ctrl S for to save it, and you're going to name it Spring and change it to HTML and just save it. Okay, so let's check once. Yes, we have Spring here. If I click on Spring, it's empty as it should be. Okay, now we have to make a table with exactly these dimensions. This is not tough. We can easily do that in a drag and drop editor like Dreamweaver. Okay, so we are going to head to our body tag. You can see this is the body tag, and in between this, okay, before that, please go to view and change the view mode to, split the view mode to code and design. Okay, this would actually give you a lot more control, by just simply interacting with the table and editing it on the go. Okay, now we want to insert a table, so I'll go to insert, I'll add a table. Now what are the properties of the table? It has 1 2 3 4 5 6 rows. Okay, and yeah, 6 rows. Columns we decide afterwards. So we have 6 rows, and we have 3 columns as well. I think 1 2, yes, 3 columns. Let's save that for now. So table width is going to be, so what is the width? The total width is of the table is 800. Okay, so it's clearly mentioned right here. So I say 800, and it's going to be in pixels. The border thickness, as it mentioned, was 2 pixels. Okay, so it's 2 pixels here. You are not going to change any of the other values. I press OK, and I get something. Okay, so finally, I was worried where did the table go. Alright, so we have the table now. Now we have to alter all these dimensions of the cells. Okay, and as it clearly stated, you are not supposed to put these alphabets. Alright, so we go to the first row. This is 800 by 100, so the first value is always the width and second one is always the height. So this is one large row, so we are going to merge all of them. Again, I am in the design mode. Okay, split by code and design, otherwise you won't be able to select these cells like this. And you're going to go to table and you are going to merge them. Done. Nice and simple. Then you are going to merge the whole D and the K rows. So let's do the K row as well. Go to table, we go to merge, and then we are going to simply do these cells or columns. Oh well, it's a single column. Yes, so this looks much better now. And if you want to preview this in a real browser, you press F12, okay, and just save the changes. It would take you to the real-time preview of your document in whatever you're editing in HTML. Alright, so part B. So we are in the B cell. This is 300 into 225. So you are going to right click, you will go to properties, okay, and this would show you all the properties of this single cell, and you're going to put the values here and here. So what is it going to be? 300 x 25, so 300 width and 225 height, and this expands now. Okay, this is going to be same for E, G and I. Now instead of wasting time going individually there, so we are just going to copy these properties of width and height, and we'll just simply paste them in all these rows inside the data tag. I think we didn't copy correctly. Okay, so you click here, you go here, you press Ctrl V, you get this. You go to the next one, you click here, so it directly takes you to that exact object. You press paste and you paste it. You go to the next one, you go inside the data tag and you paste it correctly, and I think yes, we have one more left. No, this is the last row. Okay, perfect. So if you go to the Firefox or any browser, you'll see the changes have been done. So these are happening in real time. Okay, so you don't need to press any button now. It's all happening simultaneously. Just save this. Alright, so the next thing that we have are these cells. Okay, so 225 by 225. So we go to C, this is C, and we are going to go to properties. We are going to make this 225 by 225, and I'll exit this. Okay, so again we are going to repeat the process like we did before. You go to the next cell, you go inside the table data tag, you go to the next cell, you go inside its tag, and we are just copy pasting right now. That's what most students love to do. Even I used to do that as a student. Well, I still kind of am, so yeah. So we have done all of these. Then we have 275 into 900 for the D. Yes, for the D column we are going to right click on this, we go to properties, we have 275 into 900, so 275 into 900. And here we go. Let's check on the browser ones. So it looks pretty good now. So all of these are equal, and this is clearly dominating the screen. This column D. Okay. This is done. The borders also have a width. You can clearly see that borders are thick here. Okay, so place in the cell A the text springs, flowering trees and shrubs. This must be set as H1 style. Okay, so this is basically heading 1. So our A cell is, let's just confirm once, this is the top row. Okay, so this NBSP, this is basically non-breaking space. Okay, you can remove all of them or you can keep them as they are, it won't make a difference. This is just to ensure that there is a line break added. Okay, so we are going to add afterwards, after the NBSP, I'll say H1 tag. Okay, so this means heading 1. If I say H1 and I press enter, so it completes that for me automatically, and I will simply paste this. If I go to my browser, it's already there. Perfect. Place in a cell CFHG. So in C we are going to place Apple. So this is CFHG. Alright, so the second column. So we have as H2. Okay, so this is going to be H2, and I'm going to simply write Apple, and let's just copy this and we are going to paste this as we go. For F we are going to paste Camellia. I think I pronounced it right. Yes, Camellia. Then we have Cherry. Where did Cherry go? Okay, here's Cherry. And I'll edit this. And last one is Forsythia in J. So this is Forsythia. Let's check once. Okay, this is magnificent. All of the things are looking good right now. Perfect. Okay, part 9. So place in the cell D, B, E, G, I, all these values. So in the cell D we're going to put lilac, the image, and so we're simply going to put all the images. So in D we are going to put lilac 2 that we made in step 4. So this is the D cell. We are simply going to click in the cell. We're going to go to insert image, and we're going to put lilac 2. Okay, so you can see that it has already put all the relevant things in there. So the image width and the height and the name, and this is all text. We are going to leave it empty for now, alternate text basically. One thing, if you're using Dreamweaver for the first time, so before you insert the image, it would ask if you want to add it before the tag, after the tag, or nest it with the tag. So you are always going to nest it with the tag. Nesting with the tag means that it would be added within this tag of this cell. Okay, otherwise it would be added afterwards, like somewhere here, or before would mean that at the row above or the cell above. Alright, so BEGI would be, so we are simply going to put the images against the names. So this is going to be Apple. Then we have, so let's use the hotkey Control Alt I. Then we have Camellia. Then we have the Cherry, and finally we have Forsythia. Alright, so let's go to our browser, and this looks good. Okay, so you can see there's some spacing here. Because I think I would have missed a couple of pixels, so we need not to worry about this. So yeah, we missed this. So in the markup, resize each of these images to 290 pixels while maintaining the aspect ratio. So what you're going to do is you're simply going to change the width of all these images. Just click on this image, you go to its width and height attributes. We are going to put 290 pixels wide. So 290, we'll copy 290 as well. You know, we always want to be as quick as possible in the exam. So this was 290. I'll click on Cherry, and finally click on Forsythia. And if I go back, okay, so the changes have already been done. Looks good. Okay, place in cell K the text from the file ggtext.txt. It looks like some gamer made this file gg. Okay, so let's open that file. Where is the file ggtext? Here we go. We are going to press Ctrl A, Ctrl C to copy all of that, and we are going to put this where? Where are we going to put this? So replace the text. Okay, in cell K, sorry, I was looking for the cell name. Okay, so the cell K is the last one, so we are going to put this into our cell K, so this small cell right here. This has to be heading 3. Okay, so you're going to put the heading tag. Oops. So you're going to write h3, press enter, and it would enclose the, and you paste all of these. Okay, and in this you are going to write your own your either name, center number, whatever. So I'm going to use Wolverine. I was VWL123 and I was 0003 something like, or 0001, whatever. Okay, and if I go back, it's here, it's good enough. Alright, so we are done till here. We haven't missed anything. Alright, so make only the text link a hyperlink to this, to send an email message to this address with the subject this. Okay, so if you don't have much practice with HTML, you know, you'll be easily tempted to do this. You will just right click here, you would want to go to insert, you would want to hyperlink this. Okay, so this is not correct, even though it is adding a hyperlink, but it is not going to make it an email accessible link. Okay, so it clearly says that you have to send this, so you have to send an email. All right, now for that you can double click on the link, you can go to insert, you go to HTML, and somewhere you'll find email link. Okay, and yes, I've pasted it. Okay, so you press OK. Now what this has done is it has added the hyperlink with this tag ahref and mail to. Who is it being mailed to? This is the recipient of the mail, and this is our text. Now if I go back and if I click on the link, it clearly shows me that the email is going to send now. Okay, is going to be sent now. But there is a small mistake. It clearly says that the subject line has to be ask the expert. Now you cannot you know, drag and drop the subject line. You'll have to know the syntax for that. In order to do that, you're going to go one step back from the inverted commas, the quotation marks. You're going to press question mark, and then you'll write subject. You write subject is equal to whatever we are asked to do. So we have to put ask the expert. Okay, that's it. So it has to be after the question mark. And if you go to the web page now, if you hover over the link, so you can clearly say it says subject, and if you write an email to anyone, the subject would already be written by default. Okay, so this is correct now. So question 13, make sure the appropriate text is displayed if an image is not available. Okay, so for that we always use these ALT tags. Okay, ALT means alternate description. So while the image is loading, it must show some relevant text. Okay, so for the case of apple, we can say an image of an apple. Okay, for lilac we can say image of lilac, etc. Okay, whatever you want to show. I think we made a mistake. Where is lilac? Okay, no, we're correct. Okay, so you know, you'll just put whatever description you want in these ALT tags. Now okay, so question 13, so attach the style sheet to your web page and save the web page in your GGG HTML folder. Now how do you attach the CSS sheet? In case you cannot see this window here, you'll go to window and you'll enable this CSS designer. Okay, now we're going to add a new CSS source. We click here, we attach an existing file, we'll go to browse, and yes, so we're going to, what was it called, GGG style, yes, this one. I press OK. Now you can see the style has already been applied. Okay, so cascade style has already been applied here, so you need to refresh the page. Okay, I didn't do anything, this is already being done by the examiner. Okay, so it's written in the CSS file. Let's put a mark here that we're done so far. Save the web page in your GGG HTML folder. So I think we haven't saved it so far. Oh, we did, but it's not in the. Okay, it's here. Perfect. You will now need to create a second style sheet using the most efficient syntax, sorry, not task. Make sure your style sheet does not contain any HTML. So first of all, let's for our ease make a copy of the style sheet so that we don't have to search for the directory. And what should we name it? GGG followed by our ID 0001 in our case. And if you can edit it in Dreamweaver. I'll edit in oops let's open it again. Yeah, so you can edit in any text editor. So place your name, center number and candidate number as a comment at the bottom of the style sheet. So this is how we add a comment: a forward slash, an asterisk to enclose it, and a slash again. Okay, so this is how you add a comment. Comment means that it won't be read as a part of your code by the computer or the compiler. So you're going to write your name, Wolverine, WL123 and 0001, your candidate number. You have to edit the style sheet so that the image becomes a single background placed at the top right of each page. Alright, so first of all you have to ensure that your CSS is in the same folder with the desired image. Okay, so we are going to edit the code now. I think we should open this in Dreamweaver for our ease. Okay, so let's open this in Dreamweaver. File, open. Yes, here we go. This is much better now. So we have to put the logo on the top right. So let's remove all of these extra things. So since the image is always part of the HTML body, so we are going to write in the body tag. So the image has to be GGG at the top right. So I'll write the keyword, so background image. Okay, and I'll put a colon. Now you can see all these options popping up. These can help you in the exam as well. Okay, so you are going to use URL. URL means uniform resource locator. Okay, so we are basically going to locate the file that are in the same folder. So you can see it by default shows me all these images. We're going to use GGG logo. Done. And the image has to be placed at the top right corner of each page. Okay, so repeat a semicolon and we write background position. Okay, so this is going to be the position of our image. So we put our colon and you can clearly see the keyword, so we'll say top right. Alright, because it's clearly said in the exam that you have to make sure that the image is at the top right. Now one more thing, it says of each page. Okay, so the image must be repeating. If we put it like this, it won't repeat. Now to make it repeat, we'll again write background and we'll say repeat, and you can see all these options. Okay, so we are going to use no repeat. Now intuitively this would mean that do not repeat at all, but this means that it's going to repeat as it is on every page. If I use repeat, I can give a number, it would repeat that many times. Repeat X would repeat the image in the x-axis. Okay, so the image would replicate in x-axis, same in y-axis. Okay, so just forget this and you're going to write no repeat. Okay, and you put a semicolon. So we are done till here and this looks good. So all the tables are left aligned in the browser. Okay, so first let's do that. I'll erase this. So the margin left has to be 0 pixels. Okay, so this would mean that the table is exactly left aligned in the browser. Okay, so all of the table and its contents. So all the table borders are visible in 2 pixels wide. Okay, now it would be very simple to just put the border here and everything else in the table class, but it's not going to be like this, because as you can clearly see, if I go back, it's not the task manager. Okay, so you can clearly see that we have a table with the borders, and then we have the cells having a border as well. Okay, so you need to make sure that you put the TD, the cell tag as well, attribute as well. So we are going to use table comma TD. Okay, so it applies to both of them. So border width is going to be 2 pixels, and we put a semicolon, and we have that all the borders must be visible. Now if you leave it like this, the border would be visible but the lines would be extremely thin, okay, in the layout. So to make them, you know, quite visible, you have to make sure that you put border style as well. So border style must be solid. Okay, so we're going to use solid. Oops, it disappeared the other one. So border width, yes, this is, I think this is good enough. Save your spreadsheet and attach it to your web page. Make sure that your new style sheet has a higher priority. Okay, this is very easy. So I'll go back to my file, and exactly like what we did before. So you see, you have the link made here already. Okay, so we can just copy paste it, and instead of this file, we'll rename it with R_G 0. Yes, so it's here. Now since it said that the priority is to be higher, so in order to do that, you are going to put this link afterwards. Okay, so basically what's going to happen is the last link would get the most priority and the first link would get the least priority. So you can see the change has already happened here. We have gotten a G logo here. Okay, so if I refresh the page, now it said that the text should have a 2 pixel wide. Okay, so all the cells or the whole table has a border that is 2 pixels wide. The image must be at the top right corner, that is also working, and the table must be left aligned. It is perfectly well left aligned with the browser. Perfect. Display the web page in your browser. If necessary, resize it so that all the text can be seen and can be read and the address bar is visible. Take a screenshot and place it in your evidence document. So I'll just zoom it out a bit so everything is clear. Okay, so you can just take a screenshot, zoom out, take a screenshot, you know, put it in here. Okay, it's simple. Now display the HTML editor in HTML source in your editor. So it's simple. You are going to go to the Dreamweaver. Now instead of scrolling down the code, since we are already done with the task, you're going to go to view and you will simply say code. Just go to the first line, press Ctrl A, Ctrl C, you copy it and you are going to paste it under the evidence 5. So you paste it here like this. All of the code is pasted nice and easy. Take a copy of your new style sheet and paste this in your evidence document. Now you have to paste all of this code in the evidence as well. Okay, so here we go. Okay, done. So now we are off to task 3 that we'll discuss in the next video. Thank you so much.